WHGE 95.3 FM. Coming up, Dove and I.
Those of us that indulge in or commit intellectual violence don't do so for the pleasure of mental masturbation or ego diddling. We do so because the chains of oppression for people's minds are deep and difficult to remove.
Good morning, my children of the sun. Welcome to the Open Eye on WHGE 95.3 FM. I'm Patrice Gibbs, your third eye optometrist and host, here to get your third eye open, get you healthy in the mind. Every generation has its purpose. Ours is to reveal the truth and reverse the brainwashing. Yeah, Wilmington Delaware had its Democratic primary, and I want you to listen to this because this is relevant, okay, because it's relevant throughout Africa, throughout diaspora. The liberation of the minds of the African people will be tougher battle than the eradication of settler colonial regimes. Who will ever forget the massacres where so many of our brothers perished in the hand of European invaders and local traders? It's a quote from Patrice Lumumba. Yeah. Hey, good morning, Sister Sherry. I see you. Yes, indeed. Did you know? If you listen to the Open Eye, you probably did. When Europeans went into Africa, they did not find a bunch of people, savages, living in forests, jungles, or bushes, as we have been taught in schools and by mainstream media. They found highly advanced cultures, perfectly administered and ruled by powerful and wealthy kings. Yes, the Brother Vaughn, I see him. Give you some awesome facts about Africa. Okay, and even though many of us are aware that Akubalan is an Arab word, Africa was called Akubalan, which means mother of mankind. Of course, those of us that are aware of Kemetic science know that Africa, Af meaning house, Ra meaning God, Ka meaning spirit, house of God, spirit, Africa. Africa ruled the world for 15,000 years. That number may be low, it probably is. The richest man in history was an African king, Mansa Musa. Africa civilized mankind several times. The most glaring two times were when they civilized the Greeks, well, three times, the Greeks and the Romans, and then came back and civilized southern Europe, specifically Spain, Italy, what have you. In 1964, a hematite is a mineral, was found in Swaziland at Bomvu Ridge in the Mwenga mountain range. Ultimately, 300,000 artifacts were recovered, including thousands of stone-made mining tools. Adrian Bouchier, one of the archaeologists on the site, dated the mine to a staggering 43,200 years old. Okay, if you're mining and manufacturing, that means you have an organized society. Africans were the first to organize fishing expeditions 90,000 years ago at Katanga, Congo. Africans carved the world's first colossal sculpture 7,000 years ago. You know, the ancient Egyptians had Afro combs. That's why we know they were black. Wasn't no Europeans running around with no Afro combs. I've seen them. The picture, just like we used in the 70s, and some used now. African kings actually ruled India. The Naga come from the Kushan. And Africa is home to the world's oldest university. Yeah, that's right. Hey. And let me get my disclaimer out the way. WHGE 95.3 FM.
Views and opinions expressed on Open Eye are those of the hosts, guests, and contributors, and do not reflect the policy or position of WHGE 95.3 FM, nor our sponsor, the Delaware Center for Homeless Vets. Any content provided by Open Eye's hosts, guests, or contributors are theirs and are not intended to malign any religion, ethnic group, company, or individual.
WHGE 95.3 FM, the Open Eye. One of my favorite singers came on one of my favorite shows before I was even born. But I remember as a little kid in my mom's music collection, this was prominent, or this gentleman was prominent. And I say on one of my favorite shows, it was probably a favorite show for a lot of black people. Okay, and you'll understand why as I go on. Okay. He was the last act scheduled on November 3rd, 1957. And after Ed introduced him, Sam strolled out looking very cool. The music started and he sang, "Darling, you send me, I know." And the show was over. That was it, in the show. Didn't even get to sing the whole song. It was live TV, and the show had run long. The Sullivan Show, the Ed Sullivan Show, received so many complaints that they immediately rebooked him. So on December 1st, 1957, Sam returned. Ed Sullivan introduced him by saying, "Sam, here's the time." Dressed neatly in suit and tie, Cook delivered a stripped-down version of "You Send Me." His performance used little more than backup vocals to complement his singing, and centered on Cook himself. As he crooned directly into the camera, his effortless charisma and charming smile made him a hit with audiences. Right after the show aired, "You Send Me" reached #1 on the Billboard Top 100, displaying just how successful his performance was. Later in the show, Ed brought Sam on stage and apologized to him and the audience, saying, "I did wrong one night here on our stage, and I never received so much mail in my life." Sam, now dressed in a tuxedo, sang his rendition of "I Love You for Sentimental Reasons," an R&B classic sung most famously by Sullivan Show regular Nat King Cole in 1946. Ed Sullivan had always been a supporter of the civil rights movement, bringing on African-American artists like Nat King Cole before anyone else in the industry was. But while Cole had always been a very safe act, Cook was pushing the envelope in regards to race in music. Cook combined the smooth crooning style of past greats like Bing Crosby and Frank Sinatra with a soulful tone that many in Sullivan's audience hadn't previously heard. In his tragically short life, Sam Cooke made only a few television appearances, and Ed Sullivan's show performance is one of the only ones that still exists. It proved once again that Sullivan was a reliable ally of the civil rights movement and jump-started Cooke's career as a pioneer of the soul genre. Yeah, Ed Sullivan. How many of us watched the Ed Sullivan show? I know I sure did. All right. WHGE 95.3 FM. The Open Eye. Open Eye, right here on WHGE 95.3 FM. This week we lost a giant, 93 years old, James Earl Jones. James Earl Jones was born in January 1931. He's been described as one of America's most distinguished and versatile actors for his performances on stage and screen. His deep voice has been praised as a stern basso profundo that has lent gravel and gravitas to his projects. Over his career, he has received 3 Tony Awards, 2 Emmy Awards, and a Grammy Award. He was inducted into the American Theater Hall of Fame in 1985. He was honored with the National Medal of Arts in 1992, the Kennedy Center Honor in 2002, the Screen Actor Guild Life Achievement Award in 2009, and the Honorary Academy Award in 2011. Suffering from a stutter in childhood, Jones had said that poetry and acting helped him overcome the disability. A pre-med major in college, he served in the United States Army during the Korean War before pursuing a career in acting. Since his Broadway debut in 1957, he has performed in several Shakespeare plays, including Othello, Hamlet, and King Lear. Jones worked steadily in theater, winning his first Tony Award in 1968 for his role in The Great White Hope, which was also a role he reprised in the 1970 film adaptation, earning him an Academy Award and Golden Globe nomination. Jones won his second Tony Award in 1987 for his role in August Wilson's Fences. He was further Tony nominated for his roles on Golden Pond 2005, The Best Man 2012. Other Broadway performances included Cat on a Hot Tin Roof 2008, Driving Miss Daisy in 2010-2011, You Can't Take It With You in 2014, The Gin Game 2016, and he received a special Tony Award for Lifetime Achievement in 2017. Jones made his film debut in Stanley Kubrick's Dr. Strangelove in 1964. How many of you knew that? I didn't know that. He received a Golden Globe nomination for Claudine. I remember that great movie. Jones gained international fame for his role as Darth Vader in the Star Wars franchise, beginning with the original 1977 film. Jones' other notable roles include Conan the Barbarian, Matwan, Coming to America, Field of Dreams, The Hunt for Red October, The Sandlot, The Lion King, and one of my favorites, Bingo Long and the Traveling All-Stars and Motor Kings. Jones reprised his roles in Star Wars media, The Lion King, and Coming to America in 2021. Coming to America, the sequel. Rest in power, James Earl Jones. What a man. WHGE 95.3 FM, The Open Eye. WHGE 95.3 FM. You're enjoying The Open Eye. All right. You know, an evil man will burn his own nation to the ground to rule over ashes. Sound like anybody you know? Yeah. Who am I talking about? You know, one of the crazy things that I hear some black Trump supporters say, he's a great businessman. That's one of the reasons he know how to handle business. And he say himself, I'm the best businessman in the world because I know how to negotiate. Okay. You know, it really speaks to white privilege that less than mediocre, piss poor businessman could be considered a great businessman. He conned you. Look here. He bought the Trump Plaza Hotel for $400 million. It was repossessed by the bank. He bought his yacht for $29 million. It was repossessed by the bank. He built 4 casinos at a cost of $3 billion. Filed bankruptcy, went out of business, stiff contractors and employees. And you know, that's one of my big criticisms when they bring up his skill as a businessman. A casino is a cash cow. The American Mafia ran casinos from the late 40s through the 80s. Siphoned off and skimmed off money to the tune of millions of dollars. And still kept the casinos running. You know, they're stealing the money hand over fist. This fool builds 4 casinos and goes out of business. He started Trump Airlines, never made a profit. Planes and helicopters was repossessed by Citibank. Trump Mortgage, Trump Baca, Trump States, all went out of business. All went out of business. All right? And for those of you that don't know, that think that, you know, he's running for president because, you know, he wants to serve the country and no, stop that. He's running for president to stay out of jail. And that's why he's running for president. Of course, sure many of you saw the debate. You know, and of course, one of the things that came up during the debate was abortion. Of course, we know what happened with Roe versus Wade. The Supreme Court overturned Roe versus Wade, and during the fiasco that was for Trump, that the debate was, because Kamala Harris whipped his ass, wiped the stage with his ass. And of course, the topic of abortion came up. And of course, his supporters had something to say about what. Well, let me tell you this story. Okay, what's up, brother Jardale? Peace. A woman who suffered a miscarriage lasted 19 days has hit back at a former Trump aide describing her agonizing ordeal and how she was turned away at 3 ERs due to a lack of access to reproductive rights. Carmen Brosder responded to John Mesenti in a TikTok video, which has been liked over 200,000 times after he questioned a claim made by Vice President Kamala Harris that women were suffering as a result of abortion bans. Brewster says she was given just 1 dose of pain medicine in 19 days. Blacked out due to blood loss, could not eat because of her pain, and even developed a heart condition. Damn. On Tuesday night, the Orange Disaster and Kamala Harris faced off on ABC for the first time in what was the second presidential debate of the 2024 election. Answering a question about abortion, Harris responded, Donald Trump hand-selected 3 members of the United States Supreme Court with the intention that they would undo the protections of Roe versus Wade. And they did exactly as they intended. And now in over 20 states, there are Trump abortion bans. She added, pregnant women who want to carry a pregnancy to term, suffering from a miscarriage, are being denied care in an emergency room because their healthcare providers are afraid they might go to jail. And she's bleeding out in a car in the parking lot. She didn't want that. Now, that sounds like, that might be extreme, but no, that's what's going on. That's what's going on. Responding to Harris, John McEntee, former director of White House Presidential Personnel Office in the Trump administration and senior advisor at the 2025 project, posted a TikTok on the account Date Right Stuff, a conservative dating app. A conservative, anyway. Of course, he's since deleted the video because when he got up there with his ignorant ass and said, can someone track down the women Kamala Harris says are bleeding out in the parking lot? Carmen Brewster responded to him saying, present, I'm right here. Brewster goes on to tell the story of her miscarriage, adding, I had a 19-day miscarriage in Idaho because of the abortion regulations. 19 days. She said she was turned away from 1 ER, well, not from 1 ER, but 2 ERs, technically 3. She says, noting that she had walked into 1 ER where they said they couldn't help her, and she had to walk out. Brewster says she was given 1 dose of pain medicine in 19 days. I continued to suffer exponentially for the next 11 days. I blacked out in my hallway due to blood loss. I stopped eating, so my daughter stopped eating. So I had to eat with tears running down my face because it was actually painful to eat because I was in so much pain. Everything hurt. But my daughter needed to eat. She goes on to explain the long-term health consequences she has suffered because of her miscarriage and lack of access to reproductive rights. I developed a heart condition called a fib. A fib, or atrial fibrillation, is a heart condition that causes an irregular and abnormally fast heart rate. It can be triggered by certain situations, and the cause is not understood. I saw the video. I'm giving the clean version. I'm on the radio, but she said her heart was effed up. My heart doesn't work right anymore. It's effed up. I have to regulate my heart to keep active. Otherwise, I could have an effing heart attack and die. I have to deal with these side effects for the rest of my life because of abortion laws. So yeah, women are bleeding out in public parking lots. She went on to say, we exist. Damn. This is what y'all want? WHGE 95.3 FM. WHGE 95.3 FM, the Open Eye. Okay. Let me tell you something. Waiting for Brother Jadea to be present before I did this. I've been holding on to this for a minute. And I've often made the call for warriors to stand up. Warriors' rules to live and work by. Okay? 1, I will not be contradictory. What I think will be exactly what I say, and what I say will be exactly what I do. I will uncompromisingly be who I think and say I am. I will love and build with African persons of goodwill and character. Because there's a lot of African people in Africa and in the diaspora that Harriet Tubman would have shot. All of y'all were not kings. Some of you goddamn people are peasants. And that's how you behave. Stop that. And 3, I would distinguish my wants from my needs and never emphasize the material above the mental and spiritual. I will learn and teach our children our story. I will help them see and understand their power and their personal responsibility to use it in the best interests of African people. I will rear them to be African nationalists. I will strive to be independent in every possible way and help my fellow warriors to be likewise. I will respect my body and treat it like the temple it is. I will endeavor to elevate my martial skills to the highest potential and always be on guard for myself, my family, community, and nation. I will honor our warrior ancestors only, using them at their finest as a model of the perfection to which I aspire. I will never use derogatory, demeaning language against my brothers and sisters. I will always show them the utmost respect. I will speak to them in the race, nation, spirit of family, knowing that we are one, and that to curse them is to curse myself. I will never confuse friend with enemy, and will without qualification treat each accordingly. I will live to remove enemies from my people's mind and spaces. I will work to secure all that is ours. I will always remember to never forgive or forget what has been done to African people, and do all I know and am able to stop this genocidal process now and never let it happen again. I will do all in my power to liberate, empower, and make African people sovereign. Warriors Creed. Thank you for that, Brother Jordan. WHGE 95.3 FM, The Open Eye. Patrice Gibbs, your third eye optometrist. Something that I've been seeing going on in some of our so-called conscious people, encouraging people not to vote, encouraging black people that unless we are given specific policies that are stated. Okay. You know, that is so goddamn naive. How long have you been paying attention to politics and seeing politicians make all these promises? Okay? And yes, the lesser of two evils. They're the same side of two coins and this, that, and the other. Well, one's feathers are oily. Okay. And, you know, it's like pigeons flying over. They're going to crap all over you. That's the right wing. Okay. And I hear some people say, don't vote. You know, don't just vote the couch. That's exactly what they want you to do. Okay? They work hard to deny black people the right to vote. Oh, well, they just do that so that you get the ideal that it's important to do. They've been doing it for centuries. And you fall into the trap when you don't vote. Especially on the local level. Because we must control the policies and the pocketbooks. What money is spent on, especially on the local level. Now, in elections past, I would say, okay, go ahead and vote for a third party, this, that, and the other. It doesn't matter which one of them get in. They're all crooks, this, that, and the other. And that's pretty much so. But this time around, it's something a little different. Well, not a little different, actually a lot different. Because you have this con artist and wannabe dictator who's running for no other reason really than to stay out of jail. And to me, it's amazing that the race is even close between he and Kamala Harris. And part of that reason is the mainstream media. For instance, what the New York Times did, when Trump was asked about paying for child care, as he's been doing, he went off on some rant about terrorists. It had nothing to do with child care. The New York Times fixed up this article where they basically said, oh, well, what he's going to do is he's going to charge higher tariffs and use that to pay for child care. He didn't say nothing like that. Okay, what he said was absolutely insane. But they fixed it up for him. I used to criticize the mainstream press for being nothing more than stenographers and just repeating what was said without challenging it. And when it become worse, much worse, because they're nothing more than propagandists for white supremacy, and that's across the board. This is from Keith Boykin, because one of the things that came up during the debate was the insaneness. And yeah, she did. She tore his ass up. And she was real slick with it too. Because one of the things she did was she would bait him. All right? And what's the saying about catching fish? Is the fish that keeps his mouth closed that don't take the bait. He took the bait every time. It was something else. That's where Brother John C. Yeah, when was it something came up they were discussing, and she threw in about his rallies, and he sucked that up, hook, line, and sinker. Okay, this is from Keith Boykin. Check this out. J.D. Vance, Elon Musk, Ted Cruz, and some other Republicans are spreading a debunked racist lie that Haitian immigrants are stealing their neighbors' cats in Springfield, Ohio, and eating them. Bam. You heard that correctly. I don't even know what to say about this. This is the level of where America is right now. The type of racism, and I wonder, how do Tim Scott and Byron Donalds and the rest of those black Republicans continue to defend this in their party? They always want to blame black people for our predicament, but they ignore how we got here. And there's a long history of resilience in Haiti in the face of Western imperialism that many white people and many Americans don't even know anything about. Toussaint Louverture launched the Haitian Revolution. Dewey Bookman. In 1791, Haiti became the first black nation in the Caribbean, 1804, and the first country in the world to abolish slavery. You hear that, Candace Owens, you Negro peeing bed wench? It happened in Haiti first. But the ideal of black freedom in Haiti was a threat to slavery in the U.S. And so the U.S. tried to isolate Haiti to prevent the spread of abolition to American shores. And then in the 20th century, the U.S. ended up occupying Haiti from 1915 to 1934 and taking 40% of the country's income for 2 decades. Damn. Initially, they went in and they just robbed them. They brought their military over there and just straight up stole their gold resources. Then Haiti, all this time, was forced to pay reparations, this I never understood, to the French enslavers. The French declared that Haiti owed them for the money they lost because the Haitians were no longer slaves. You heard that correctly. The formerly enslaved people who were black in Haiti had to pay reparations to their former enslavers until 1947. That's 122 goddamn years. The New York Times estimated the cost at $21 billion. And Imagine $21 billion being taken out of the economy of a small, poor country. And the country is poor because the Europeans made them poor. Their poverty is not happenstance. Then they have an earthquake in 2010 that killed more than 100,000 people. The president of the country was assassinated a few years ago, and then we have Haitian migrants who were chased down and harassed and texted by U.S. Border Patrol agents. And all of that, after all of that history, Donald Trump calls Haiti just another one of those S-hole countries. And now they have J.D. Vance and Ted Cruz making fun of mocking the people of Haiti after all they've suffered through. It just shows the callousness and the racism of these people and the Republican Party. The idea that they're attacking Haitian immigrants and accusing them of doing something which they are not doing, stealing other people's pets and eating them. I don't even know what to say about these people. I don't understand how anyone could justify this, but then, you know, the same maggot or MAGA people who are defending this, Ted Cruz, Elon Musk, vice presidential candidate J.D. Vance, are the same ones who are saying that George Floyd deserved to die. These people are racist. And I don't know how any self-respecting black person could defend this party or align themselves with this party with all the anti-black hatred in their midst. You really need to take a look at yourself in the mirror if you're defending this crap. And what this does to Haitian children. That's right. WHGE 95.3 FM, the Open Eye. Okay, I'm off the air, and I'm going to say this to y'all. When I see these black Republicans and these coons and these people jumping up, including you conscious people that are defending this crap, coming up with this ideal that, what is it, Kamala Harris cheated during the debate, that she had this magic earphone feed. Who are these fucking niggers? The fuck out of here. Can't get back on the air. I need to come off the air to say that. Unbelievable. And then y'all gonna jump up and support this? God. WHGE 95.3 FM, the Open Eye. Those of you that are just tuned in on the radio, I would advise you to catch the Facebook thing, the Facebook broadcast, and the YouTube broadcast later, because I said some things off the air that you need to hear. Jeez Louise. It's the idea that these people are stealing pets. And this fool got up on stage and said that that's why she tore his ass up. That's right. I'm gonna come around to this here. And, oh, the response. The response to this crap about Haitians eating children. Now I know a lot of people, and they did some funny memes and TikTok posts. You know, I seen dolls and cash driving cars leaving Springfield, Ohio, and this, that, and the other. You know, and some of it was pretty funny. But here's the thing, and I thank Sister Tracy for this. I wonder how it feels to be a Haitian kid showing up in school in Springfield. Rumors are not victimless. Mm-hmm. And what is the response from the right wing, from these MAGA people, from these people in the Trump cult? Well, they're angry because this lie was called out. Yeah. Yeah. Because right during the debate, one of the moderators, and that's another thing these fools are saying, that it was 3 against 1. You know when you lost, when you don't want a rematch. Nah, you know, nah, ain't gonna be no more fighting with that. I ain't doing that no more. Mm-hmm. And like I said, one of the moderators said that what was it, in Springfield, the city manager stated there is no credible evidence that this took place. Several local leaders have been targeted in the wake of baseless claims aimed at Haitian immigrants that have been repeated by former President Donald Trump. Bomb threats on Friday forced the evacuation and closure of public schools and municipal buildings for a second consecutive day as the city continues to deal with sudden national attention because of false claims involving its Haitian population. Students at Perrin Woods and Snow Hill elementary schools in Springfield were evacuated from their buildings to an alternate district location. Roosevelt Middle School was closed prior to the beginning of school in relation to information received from Springfield Police Department. In addition to those school evacuations, several city commissioners and a municipal employee were the target of an email bomb threat, city spokesman Karen Graves said. A second email threatened multiple locations that included Springfield City Hall, Cliff Park High School, Perrin Woods Elementary School, Roosevelt Middle School, the Bureau of Motor Vehicles, and the Ohio License Bureau, Southside, Graves said. As a precaution, all affected buildings have been evacuated. Authorities, with the support of explosive detection canines, have conducted thorough inspections and cleared the facilities listed in the threats. Local police and FBI agents based in Dayton are working to determine the origin of these email threats. The city just west of Columbus has been the focal point of a national political firestorm that has included false rumors that Haitian immigrants have been stealing and even eating household pets. City officials and police have said there's no credible information to support those outlandish claims. Former President Donald Trump and his running mate, punk-ass J.D. Vance, had pushed those claims, false claims, as part of a broader effort to use Springfield as an example of what they say are harmful consequences of immigration. Springfield is a beautiful community and your pets are safe in Springfield, Ohio, Springfield Mayor Rob Rue told MSNBC Katie Tour reports on Friday. You know how crazy it is that the mayor of the city has to come out and tell people your pets are safe? Because these idiots got up and told that lie. A spokesman for Vance, who grew up about 50 miles from Springfield in Middletown, said the senator condemns these threats and believes those responsible should be held accountable to the fullest extent of the law. Yeah, those responsible that should be held to the fullest extent of the law is you idiot. Because you're the one that motivated these people to do just what they're doing. Damn. WHGE 95.3 FM, the Open Eye. Yes, indeed, the Open Eye. All right. I want to give a big up, shout out to Brother Abdul Hameen Latif. Am I saying your name right, brother? I hope so. Well, I call you Hameen. So you know who you are, you know what I'm talking about. I got this from Brother Hameen. Voting? Power concedes to nothing but power. However, we have no power because we won't unite for common causes. Could we unite behind a so-called black agenda? Listings of concerns or reforms we want resolved? Imagine, we are almost 50 million adult people, which means we could have sway any election. Just by any politician agreeing to sign off on our agenda. If none are willing, then we just don't vote at all, since we get nothing from it anyway. I don't agree with that. What we have to do is we have to infiltrate. That's what politics is all about, power, negotiations, but sadly, we're not in the game. Not on that level. Two of our most prolific accepted leaders, Martin and Malcolm, were martyred because they saw the light and were capable of uniting people. That was politics in action. Brother Hameen goes on to say, as I see it, our so-called black agenda wasn't first laid out in the 60s, in the 1960s. Our prescription for our true liberation originated in the mid-1800s by the Honorable Frederick Douglass. His solution was that we must organize and stand up to power to bring about change. We should rely upon politicians or the powerful, but look to the people. He went on to say power concedes nothing without a collective demand. It never did and it never will. Find out just what any people will quietly submit to, and you have found out the exact measure of injustice and wrong which will be imposed upon them. And these will continue till they are resisted with either words or blows or with both. The limits of tyrants are prescribed by the endurance of those whom they oppress. Power, what is a capacity that A has to influence the behavior of B so that B acts in accordance with A's wishes. Politics, behavior to influence or attempt to influence the distribution of advantages and disadvantages within the organization, community, or nation. And that's why a couple of years ago, I came up with the idea of the Organized Unified National Party. The Organized Unified National Party would be an independent political party. Okay? The Organized Unified National Party's singular concern is the plight, welfare, and security of Black America. Every Black American of voting age is strongly urged to join the Organized Unified National Party. No matter what your political persuasion is now, whether Democrat, Republican, liberal, conservative, no matter how you identify, Kemetic, Christian, Muslim, Jewish, NOI, Moorish, Hebrew, Aboriginal, sovereign, foundational, conscious, woke, not woke, woke is, or Negropean, join the Organized Unified National Party. The purpose is to form a voting bloc to ensure our political and economic power. For the naysayers who cry, you can't do that, that's racist. No, it's not. No, it's not. And so I say this, any registered voter who wants to vote with the Organized Unified National Party in the interest of black people, come on. You're more than welcome. Furthermore, every persuasion in America seeks political power. The Organized Unified National Party will not be interested in civil rights, human rights, white rights, Hispanic rights, Asian rights, Native American rights, gay rights, Christian rights, Muslim rights, nor American rights. The Organized Unified National Party's singular exclusive interest is black political and economic power. And with that, go to hell. WHGE 95.3 FM, the Open Eye. Ooh, time flies when you're getting it done, don't it? All right. As we always tell you, destiny determines who enters your life, but you decide who stays. Therefore, value those who value you and don't treat those as a priority who treat you as an option. This has been The Open Eye. Thanks for joining us. Hope you learned something. I know I did. I'm Patrice Gibbs. All right. Thank you for joining me. And if you didn't catch it, as I said throughout the show, I'm about African power. That's where, thank you, Brother Jardea. And as I always tell you, global African supremacy, because the world was a much better place when the African ruled.